video time. Say hi, Trey.
Hi.
Look at the camera, say hi, Trey.
Hi.
Okay, so here's how fucked up the world is today. I just took, shouldn't have cussed, sorry, Trayden. I took Trayden into a GameStop because he's been looking for this little code for his little game, whatever. So we're in there, and the guy behind the counter has on the gloves, and has a mask around his neck. And I said, "What's wrong, man? You worried about catching death or whatever I said?" And he said, "It's mandatory." I said, "Oh, it's mandatory." I said, "Yeah." I said, "So your employer?" About the time I started saying it, he said, "No, I have auto I can't even say it. He has AIDS." So I said, "Oh, all right." I said, "But it's not mandatory right there, right? Like your work's not forcing you to wear gloves." And he's like, "Oh yeah." I said, "Well, that's fucked, dude. That's messed up." He said, "Well, why is it messed up?" I said, "Think about that for a second." I said, your employer's forcing you to do something and you don't even have a choice to do it or not. It's not like you're in food hospitality or something. You're dealing with money. And I said, I forget it. How did it go on? What happened next? Okay, I'm sorry. So, Trayden started getting him to look up for this thing he's looking for. And I said, individual rights, Trump, well, he said, oh, that's what he said. He said, that's probably why it spread so fast is because everybody thinks like you. Because I said that individual rights trump public safety. And he disagreed with me. So I said, sorry, I'm trying to drive and do this at the same time, which I should be doing. He said, no, they don't. So then he gets on the computer for trade and starts looking up his game. And I said, yeah, they do. He said, well, I said, if you really think about it, there was only like 120,000 people that was infected when we found out about our first case in this country. And he tried to tell me I was full of shit. He said, oh, no, that many people's died. Okay. So I pulled up the live corona thing and said, look, no. It says there's 212,000 been infected and 8,900 that have died, which I kind of find that number hard to believe. Anyway, so when I said, but individual rights still trump public safety. And the guy said, no, it don't. Ask Italy. I said, well, Italy's not really a good example. Well, ask San Francisco. I said, well, that's kind of not a good example either. So the guy behind the register again then jumps in and wants to say, well, when they enact martial law, I said, well, he said here in about a week or so when they enact martial law. I said, well, I'm a man, so that really doesn't mean much to me. And he flipped his wig and told me to get out of the store, which I said, I just kind of chuckled it off and said, all right, once you follow me outside, we can really handle this. And he acted like he was going to follow me outside and did. So, point of the conversation is there was two late 20s, mid 20s men wearing skinny jeans in there that really believe that public safety trumps individual rights. And what does that say? I mean, they were just friends, maybe possibly. They just think alike, could be. I have a feeling though that most minus 30-year-olds feel that way. And just like I told my wife just now, by the time Trayden here is my age, I'm 39, he is 13, 26 years, if it goes at the rate it's going, my son won't have rights. And that's a fact. Look, it rains out, people just can't drive. Rain and snow in Ohio, people just can't drive. So the big question is what do we do about it? It keeps going down the same road we're going down. We have two options. We have totality takeover. It's going to be socialism, even socialism. You're already seeing it. There's a petition out now in Ohio for Mike DeWine to put a freeze on all mortgages, all rent, all car notes, utility bills, everything. They want to freeze all loans, which I personally think is total crap. If you got a car loan, then you got to pay that car loan no matter what. That's a responsibility you take on, and no matter what, you pay that. I have kids. I took on that when I had my kids. I took on that responsibility. If I was to buy a house, I would take on that responsibility. If I was to buy a new car, there's a reason why I drive an 04 Grand Prix, because I don't want a car payment. I don't want that responsibility. But in this society, we've become accustomed to always having a pillow to fall back on, or always, our bad decisions, there's no consequences that come with those bad decisions. If you have bought a house and the market crashed like it did today, like it could have done any day for the last, since the last depression, which is the last time the market crashed, the market could have crashed any of those days. So we live in a society now that people are expecting to be bailed out. They think that is a right of theirs. They have a right to be bailed out. They have a right for government to walk around with their hand, hold their hand. Personally, I think that we might be, I even hate saying it or even thinking about it, but where's that point of no return? At what point can we turn this around? And at what point are we at the point of no return? That we're already sliding down that hill, and the stop is whatever it is, wherever we end up at. We could already be there. I don't know. I would like to think not, but I think I'm lying to myself when I say that. Just because I think that if people were going to do anything, they probably would have already done it. Like I've said it, I've had this conversation with my kids. I know you can't ask straight, I'm sure Trey don't agree with me. Like I've told my wife and kids, there will be a day that I might walk away. It might not be coming back. And it's not because I don't love my family or my kids, because I do. I love them enough that I would be willing to do that so they don't grow up in a socialist shithole. And that's what this country's going to wind up being. And if we don't fix it, in my son's lifetime, it's going to be a socialist shithole.